Is the Chase Ink train officially dead? Today I'm going to put that to the test by applying for the Chase Ink cash card, and I'll also explain why I'm the perfect candidate to test out this theory here in 2025. Going back to November of 2024, reports surfaced of Chase starting to tighten up approvals for their different Ink credit cards depending on how many you may have been approved for in the past. This is the article that I referenced from Doctor of Credit, stating that those with 0 Ink cards had an 87% chance of getting approved. Those with 1 card had a 68% chance, those with 2 ink cards have about a 57% chance, and those with 3 ink cards had about an 18% chance. If you were around last year, I personally got started in September of last year in this credit card game. All the buzz at that time was around this Chase Ink train and how getting these ink cards and hitting those sign-up bonuses was the best path to earn the most amount of Chase Ultimate Rewards points. I believe the ink train phrase was even trademarked by Anthony Venture, captain of said train. Thanks a lot, Anthony, for ruining this for all of us. I'm kidding, of course. Congrats on 10,000 subscribers, my man. However, all good things must come to an end. And with my experience over my last couple of credit card applications with Chase, I definitely felt the effects of them starting to tighten up approvals on not just their ink cards, but all their business credit cards. Jumping over to my wallet, I added the Freedom Unlimited in May of last year. A few months later, once I was fully into this credit card game, I added the Ink Unlimited in October, quickly followed up by an application for the Chase Sapphire Preferred when they were offering 60,000 points plus a $300 Chase travel credit, so I added both of these cards within a couple of months. Then applied for the Ink Preferred in February, and the story of getting approved for this card was a whole story in and of itself. I followed that up in March, right around the time that we had a big wedding deposit coming up for the World of Hyatt business credit card, and despite all my attempts at reconsideration for that, I was unfortunately denied. Going back to this Ink Preferred, I knew at the time in February, knowing some of the data points that were out there, that getting approved was going to be a struggle, especially given that I was still less than 1 year into my relationship with Chase. I actually got the chance to sit down with that captain of the Ink train, Mr. Anthony Venture, and tell him my complete story about how it was such a struggle to actually get approved for this card. It took over 4 calls to Chase reconsideration, and if you want all the details to hear that complete story, make sure you check out that video after this one. Outside of just my applications with Chase, I did apply and was approved for the Built MasterCard and several different cards from American Express, most recently the Amex Green card, which will actually put me at 524. However, this card is actually not even shown up on my credit report as of right now, so I want to sneak in one more Chase application before I'm at that 524 status and am locked out of Chase credit cards for at least the next year. So why the Chase Ink cash card? For one, just based on the cards that I've already added, I couldn't really think of any other Ultimate Rewards point earning cards that I should go out and apply for outside of something like the new Chase Sapphire Reserve, which now with its higher annual fee and all the different credits with that card, it's just a little too difficult for me to justify. We really value American Express's membership rewards points and Chase UR above any other point currency, with a lot of the transfer partners that we prefer in Delta, Marriott, or Hyatt. And I actually covered in a very recent video how we just redeemed right around 500,000 Chase UR points for a Hyatt stay for our honeymoon at a private island resort. So we really need to replenish our Chase UR point balance right now. At the time of recording this video, the welcome offer for the Ink Cash is 35,000 Ultimate Rewards points after 3,000 in spend in the first 3 months, and then 40,000 more points after a total of 6,000 in spend in the first 6 months, so 75,000 Ultimate Rewards points total. This offer also includes an intro APR period of 0% interest over the first 12 months, which we really want to take advantage of. This allows us to, let's say, spend the full $6,000 and carry that balance over the next year. In the meantime, instead of paying off the card right away, we would put that money into a high yield savings account earning 4%, allowing us to collect interest. And the best part is, because this is a business credit card from Chase, that high utilization that comes from carrying that balance over the next year won't actually get added to my credit report and thus won't hurt my credit score. For the earnings on this card, you're getting 5x back on the first 25,000 in combined spend at office supply stores, internet, cable, and phone services. You're also getting 2x back in combined spend at both gas stations and restaurants, and then 1x back for all of your other spend. If I am approved here today, we'll definitely use that 5x back on internet category. Right now, our bill through Verizon is $100. But I do get a $5 discount for paying directly from my checking account. If we were to forego that and switch that payment over to this credit card, I would be getting that 5% back in the form of Chase UR points, so still breaking even there. And then as long as I redeem those points for anything above a 1 cent per point value, it's actually more profitable than earning that $5 discount. We will also likely use that 5x back on office supply stores for random things as needed. But those office supply stores also sell other things, which can allow you to earn 5x back on a lot of other categories of retailers, and I'll let you figure out exactly what I'm talking about. With this card, you're also getting a whole suite of benefits like purchase protections and primary car rental insurance, which can actually be a great value add if you don't have that on any of your other cards. Not that I really plan on taking advantage of any of those benefits. What I'm really after, that I kind of alluded to before, is just simply the sign up bonus and also that 0% APR offer, which is why I want to go ahead and apply for this card. But instead of actually clicking apply right here, I'm actually going to go grab the referral link from my fiance, who holds an Ink Unlimited card as well. So that'll allow us to earn an additional 20,000 Ultimate Rewards points if I am approved. Because I live with my fiance at the same address, if you don't know, you can call Chase from the number directly on the back of your credit card, and you can give them the card information from your Player 2. And then when you go to the combined points screen, this just allows you to transfer between the two different Chase accounts, which can really be beneficial for anyone with a Player 2. So as you can see on the screen here, I did go ahead and click the link over from my fiance's account. So like I said, she'll earn an additional 20,000 points if I am approved here today. If we scroll down here to the Chase Ink Cash, you can see on the very bottom of the screen, it does say to apply via this page so that they can get that referral bonus. So I'm going to make sure I click apply now from the screen. So here's the application screen for Chase's business credit cards. There's a lot of information that you need to fill out, and I'll cover some of those in brief detail. And let's see if I can get approved for my third Chase Ink credit card. So first, it's just going to simply ask for some details like your name, your date of birth, your social security number, and also your home address. You can fill out your contact information like your email and your phone number, and then it's going to ask for some financial information like your total gross annual income. So right below that, this is where you're going to start to enter some of the different business specific information here. So right away, it's going to start with your business structure. So you can choose right away. For me, I'm going to apply as a sole proprietorship. And if you don't know, you can apply for business credit cards under a sole proprietorship using your social security number. You don't actually need to have an LLC or anything like that. Right below that, you can enter your business legal name. If you actually have a registered business and aren't applying as a sole proprietor, you can enter your doing business as name here. Right below that is where you're going to enter the number of employees. And if it is just you in whatever side hustle or business that you're applying for, you're going to enter the number 0. So I'll go ahead and do that right here. Right below that is your business tax ID. So this is exactly what I just referenced. If you do have an EIN, you can apply using that. Or for me, like I said, for this application, I'm going to apply using my social security number. You can enter your SSN, and then it's going to ask for your business address and business phone number. And then here we really get down to, I would say, the most important part of any Chase business credit card application, which is your business financials. Now, it's very important not to lie or exaggerate any of this stuff when it comes to this section of the application, especially because you never know, Chase might require you to send them some financial documents so that they can verify what you enter here. So when it comes to the business established date, what I would say is that it's definitely helpful from the data points that I've gathered to be in business for at least over a year or so. Then you're gonna enter your annual business revenue and estimated monthly expenses. Like I said, very important not to lie or exaggerate this section. For the annual business revenue, you can enter what you're expecting to earn. It doesn't have to be hard on paper. But again, if Chase does require you to verify whatever you enter here, you will have to provide those projections over to Chase in order to get approved. Below that is the business classification. So this is where you're going to specify what type of business that you're actually applying for. Now, as you know now, I've done this a couple of different times, so I've got exactly what I entered on my previous applications written down, and I would highly suggest you do the exact same thing, which is take notes on the different things that you enter here so that when you apply for another business credit card in the future, you're not fudging any numbers and you're giving them the exact same data each and every time. And in my situation, with all my recent calls to Chase reconsideration, they will ask you down to the exact dollar what you entered for this estimated business revenue, your monthly expenses, as well as your business structure. So make sure you take detailed notes on this. Right below that, you can add employee cards. For this application, I don't plan on doing so, but this is the section where you could do that as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and fill this out with all my information. Like I said, from the notes that I already have written down, just to make sure that there's no funny business going on here, or there's no red flags when it comes to actually submitting this application to Chase. All right, so I've filled out all my information, and now it's time for the moment of truth. So let's make sure I've got paperless statements turned on. We'll scroll down here through all the certifications. I've already read through these, so I can go ahead and check the box saying that I've read and agreed to all the above. And now the final moment, let's go ahead and click submit, and let's see if we can put this ink train is dead myth to bed. Here we go. If I am sent to Recon, I'm definitely more than happy to give them a call and just see what the issue is with this application, but it's been a few months since the last time I tried for that World of Fire card. Unable to prove your application. So quite honestly, almost exactly what I expected, but let's go ahead and give them a call and see what happens. So there you have it. Unfortunately, I was not approved for the Chase Cash card at this time. Just got off the phone with reconsideration. She was yelling at me that I was on speakerphone, so not exactly sure what was recorded or how much you guys could hear of that. So not the end of the world. Something that I did actually expect kind of going into this application. I definitely knew that I'd have to call reconsideration with the fact that I am an authorized user on my fiance's Amex Gold card, which does show up on my credit report. So after I explained to her, she did say that that was the reason for the instant denial, was that I was at Chase 524. But once I explained that that's an authorized user card, I went through the recon process, and unfortunately, she was not able to turn it into an approval. Some of the questions that she was asking me was, what's the structure of my business, my revenue from last year and what I'm projecting this year, as well as my monthly expenses, which I took good notes on as I filled out the application, so I knew those answers right away. Reasons for denial that she gave me were that I recently opened a new Chase business card and low utilization on my current Chase credit lines, and there's also too many hard inquiries on my credit report right now. So I did offer to her that I'd be more than willing to move some credit limit around to this new card if I was able to get approved. And she did inform me that that was actually not an option at this time. But I'm not giving up just yet. If I learned anything from that Preferred approval that I ended up getting, is that you never stop calling, never stop dialing, as Jordan Belfort says in the movie Wolf of Wall Street. So I'm definitely going to give this a couple more tries over the next couple of weeks to see if I can get this changed. But as I mentioned when I talked about why exactly I wanted to apply for this card right now, is that Amex Green Card will be hitting my credit report here sometime in the next couple of weeks, since I did add it right at the end of June. So I really wanted to try and get approved here right before that does actually put me at the 524 status. So I'm definitely going to be hounding Chase Recon here over these next couple of weeks. I'll definitely keep you guys updated on exactly what happens with this process and if the ink train is truly dead here in 2025. But in the meantime, if you want to check out how I'm using some of the other credit cards that are currently in my wallet, make sure you check out one of these videos here. And as always, I really appreciate every single one of you guys watching. I just passed the 500 subscriber mark. I just can't thank you all enough for supporting the channel, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Cheers.